Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. I am in the ICU currently. I have been since Wednesday evening. I ended up having what we now believe was 2 seizures while home alone on Wednesday. I thought I had just passed out twice, but then later I had a seizure for sure in the car with my mom watching. So since she saw me have one then, we are pretty sure that the other 2 instances were actually seizures and not passing out. So in addition to 3 seizures, I also was very out of it and couldn't get my words out properly, couldn't remember things well, and was just not all there mentally. And so we came to the emergency room and they ran tests, and it turns out that my sodium was, I think, 119 or 116 or something, and normal sodium is between 135 and 145. So mine was extremely low. So they have been trying to get that back on track since I got here. It is technically in a normal range now, but it's not stable. It's not staying in the normal range consistently. Sometimes it is normal and sometimes it's not, but it is better. It's been quite the roller coaster ride. I just finished having some lunch. I had meatloaf and garlic mashed potatoes and a roll, and then for dessert I had some cookies and cream mousse. I wasn't a huge fan of the meatloaf, but it was okay, so I ate it. The potatoes were pretty good, and then the cookies and cream mousse I had the other day, and so I knew I liked that, and it was good once again. I also have some tea up here, but I haven't drank any of that yet, along with some water, which I'm about to drink a little bit of. So that is what I had. It also came with some kind of like greens. I don't really know what, but it didn't sound good and didn't look very good, so I didn't actually eat that, but I ate everything else. And now I'm watching my friend's live stream. My mom and my Nana and Papa are all here. My mom hasn't left since I got here. She stayed the whole time. But my Nana and Papa have been coming each day, and so they're here right now. The 3 of them are currently getting their own lunch. So I'm hanging out in here by myself. I'm glad my mom's getting the chance to get out of the room for a little bit, because I know I've been going stir crazy in here, so I'm sure she has as well. So I'm glad she's getting the opportunity to do that. I have gone walking around, just doing laps around the floor, usually once or twice a day. I haven't done that yet today, but I'm sure I'll do that in a little bit. But for now, she's getting her turn out of the room, and I'm just hanging out here. Last night was a better night. I don't think the blood pressure alarm went off even once, whereas the night before it went off all night long. They started me on a blood pressure medication because my blood pressure has been unbelievably low. Like, when I'm asleep, there were times where it would be 67/40, which is extremely low, and my blood pressure is usually pretty close to normal or even a little high, and it has not been like that the entire time I've been here. It's been low the whole time, and then at night it's even worse. So they gave me something for that, and I'm taking that now. So last night the alarms didn't go off because my blood pressure actually stayed at a better amount. So I was able to get some more sleep than I had the night before that. That night was very rough between the alarm going off all night and they had to give me a new IV. I've now had 4 IVs with a few attempted ones in addition. And the ones that I have had keep failing, and so they keep having to get new ones put in. So this is my 4th. So they did that in the middle of the night before last. And so it was just a all-around rough night, but fortunately last night was better. My sodium level is low again. It was in the normal range for a little bit yesterday, but I think overnight and so far today it's been about 130, 131, around there basically. And so it has stayed fairly stable, which is good, but it's decided to stay stable at a number that's too low. So still not where we need to be sodium level wise, but I'm feeling more myself, which is nice, because the first few days I was very out of it. It was affecting my speech, my memory, my fine motor skills, everything. So I'm glad to be doing better, but they were hoping I was going to go home today, but since my sodium level is low again, they changed the dose of my medication again. So I will not be going home today. Tomorrow will be the earliest that I end up going home, which means I will have been here for a week at that point, because I got here on Wednesday. So we'll see how long I end up being here. Hopefully I will be able to go home tomorrow, but like actually ready to go home, because they keep acting like I'm gonna go home even when I'm not at a place where my sodium level should be, and when my blood pressure is not where it should be. I mean, it is now, but they were saying I was gonna go home with my blood pressure being like 67/40. So they've tried saying I was going home soon a few times, and then it hasn't happened. So we'll see when I actually end up going home, because as much as I want to go home, I don't want to go until like I'm truly at a place where it's safe for me to. So I don't know when that will be. So in the meantime, I'm just hanging out here. I'm still in the ICU. Technically, I have had orders to be downgraded for several days now, like moved to another room that's not in the ICU, but they haven't had availability, so that hasn't happened. So technically I'm still in the ICU, but I don't really need to be at this point, but I'll probably just be here. I've accepted that I'll just be in the ICU until I leave. But yeah, I know I'm rambling now, so I'll catch up with y'all in a little bit. It is time for dinner, and I have chicken tinga and rice and beans and a roll and some pineapple chunks and a chocolate chip cookie, and then a tea for my drink. I am still in the hospital, but they moved me to a different room today. I had been in the ICU up until this point, but then today they moved me to a regular room, which technically I've had orders to be moved to a regular room for several days now, but one just became available. But I am actually going home today, so we'll only have been in this room for a few hours. The discharge order hasn't officially been put in yet, but it's on its way. It's coming. So my mom went to go get us some Chick-fil-A for lunch, because they're doing a pop-up event in the cafeteria. So she went to go get us that for lunch. That way we can go ahead and have that. And that way when we are discharged, we can go straight home, except for we're gonna swing by Racetrack or QT or something to get some frozen yogurt, but that will be our only stop because we'll have food taken care of. So that is what is going on. For a minute we didn't think I was going to be discharged today after all. We were confident I was being discharged going into this morning, and even when they moved us to this room, we were pretty sure I was being discharged today. And then we were told that my hemoglobin had been on the decline the last several days. So we thought that maybe we were going to have to stay longer, but no, the nurse was concerned about the hemoglobin dropping and my blood pressure being so low, but the doctor is not. They never seem to be on the same page about anything here. That's just kind of been the theme the whole time I've been here. So, yeah, that's what's been going on, but I should be going home today. My mom and I are back home from the hospital. We got back Friday afternoon sometime, and I've just been trying to adjust to the way things are now, I guess you could say, because things are not totally back to the way they were before. I have had several anxiety attacks leading up to coming home, and since I came home, I've cried a lot. Fortunately, today has been better. I didn't have any anxiety attacks today, which I am very grateful for. I actually got 2 YouTube videos recorded for my gaming channel, and one of them I've almost finished editing, so hopefully I will have one up tomorrow. So I'm excited about that, trying to get back into the swing of things the best I can, but it's definitely been an adjustment. I also have, I don't know how well y'all can see it, but I have a dimple now, in a way. That's what it kind of looks like, because where I fell during one of my seizures, I bit really hard, and while the inside has mostly healed, there is still quite the knot there, and so it looks like I have a dimple. I mean, it's cute, but I'm not a fan of how I got it, but you know, gotta find the positive somehow. Luckily, at least the inside has pretty much healed, so I'm able to chew on both sides. It did take several days for that to get to a point where I could do that, but it doesn't really affect me now. It's just more of a visual thing, and I can definitely feel it, but that is still going on. I also have a mystery rash. I don't know how well, again, y'all can see that, but it's on my neck going down to about my collarbone, and then it's also on my face. It doesn't seem any different to me than it has the past couple days, but my mom says that it isn't as red now, so I guess it is getting better even if I can't tell a difference. And then I went into the hospital on one medication and came out on a lower dose of that medication and on 2 new medications. So that has also been an adjustment. I am still getting used to that. I have to check my blood pressure twice a day now before I take my blood pressure medication, which is one of the 2 new meds. I have that now, and I have an iron pill. because I am anemic, and because as far as the blood pressure medication, my blood pressure when I don't take it, at least while I was in the hospital, at times was 67/40 when I would sleep. It was setting the alarms off all night. So now that I'm taking that blood pressure medication, I think tonight when I took it, it was 100/67. So still low, but a lot better than it is when I don't take it. So yeah, life is definitely an adjustment for sure, but since I didn't have any anxiety attacks today, and I'm generally just feeling better than I have been feeling, I am happy with the progress I am making, but I have been rambling for far too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this vlog here, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Do not forget how amazing, beautiful, wonderful, and loved you are, and I will see y'all in my next one.